Oh, sorry, that's my alarm.
That's fine.
You can turn it off if you want.
Testing. 1, 2. Let's go. Test, test, test. Toast. Testing. Testing. 1, 2. Test, test, toast, test. Streaming is fun. Hi, honey dog. Did you come in here? Is you a good girl? Yeah. Alright, we are live on Twitch. Triple P Paint Play and Parlay. We are painting. What are we painting?
I'm painting Ogryn. Dark Tide comes out in a couple months here. I wanted to do a kind of a celebration type of deal of making. I think there's either 2 Scions or uh, maybe Adeptus. Nah, it's got to be 2 Scions. There's one Ogryn. It's one of the main characters, and I know there's a sister. I don't know if it's a monk sister, but she looks like a sister. She's wearing red garb. But anyways, I want to do a scene of these guys on one end, the heroes on one end, and the chaos cultists on another side. I wanted to do maybe some chaos marines on the other side. Basically, just kind of depicting like what the battle would be like. Someone from Fat Shark did that when they released Vermintide 2, which is the game that they produced prior to this. But it's a Left 4 Dead in, I hate to say that term because it's really not, but that type of gameplay in Warhammer 40K universe.
And question from the chat coming in. What is the brush we are currently using?
Here's an AK Interactive Size 4. I actually like AK Interactive and the MiG ammo ones as well. They're synthetic, but they're very sturdy. I mean, this brush I've had almost 6 months. And it's just as long as it's just like every brush. You take care of it, clean it, and you'll have it'll last.
what paint are we currently using here?
Right now I'm using Kislev Flesh. It's a very light flesh tone. I don't particularly like.
Is that a standard Citadel paint or a contrast paint?
It's a standard. Prior to this, I painted in Cadian flesh tone, and then I washed it with a 50-50 blend of Gilliman contrast paint, and then I mixed it with Reichland flesh shade just to add some shading to the different types of folds we have in the flesh here.
Ah, I figured out how to get to this screen. That's good. I have no idea what to do with this screen, but you know.
Which one?
The manager for the Twitch stream here.
What's up?
A little bit away from you and over your left. Yep. And a little closer to the camera.
There.
Perfect. Looks great. So what stage in the painting are we at here?
I primed it and then just base coat it, so I'm probably on like I don't know. If I was doing it quick, it'll probably be done in about another 30 minutes. But just trying to. I don't really ever do flesh tones that much, human flesh tones. So I'm actually having fun, kind of. But I'm probably after I get this all to where I feel it should be. It's probably gonna be another 35-40% left.
Well, we estimate the time so far put into this model.
I've probably put in a total of I don't know, an hour. And I'm gonna get some Flesh Terrors contrast paint. I'm gonna dilute it down with some water.
Just water.
Just water. It's very opaque.
And what is the paint palette we're using here?
I'm using right now. I'm using It's basically it's a glass Tupperware that I put some sponges in with 2 of the Master wet palettes inside, and then it holds better, holds the paint longer.
Now, this is just a standard Ogryn.
Yeah, this is just a standard Ogryn. It's well, the guy I see in the game trailers is a standard Ogryn, but if it's like anything like Vermintide 2, he'll probably have 3 classes, like a Bulgrin, and then he'll probably have a Bulgrin's probably gonna be like, you know, your tank. He has a riot shield and a baseball bat thing. I forgot what it's called. And then he'll have that, and then he'll probably be.
Center him on the camera just a bit. There you go. Let me see your war face.
There it is, rawr. Alright, now we move to the green t-shirt. See, that contrast really makes all that red pop out. That's why I dilute it, because if I don't dilute it, it'll just overpower all that. So we use Castilian green on the shirt, but we're going to reapply it because, you know, we kind of got dry brushing on there. So make sure we.
This is a standard or contrast?
This is a standard base color. It's like a military green color.
Ogryns are a member of the Astra Militarum,
That is correct.
and I believe he is equipped with a Ripper gun.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, Ripper. And then they have grenade launchers for the Bulgrins. I actually like those ones because they give you like a crap ton of those like little grenade missiles for that thing. They're like this big, and they actually give you a whole bunch on a sprue. So definitely gotta find those. Sounds
Ripper
good.
gun is assault 3 with a range of 12 inches, a strength 5, no AP, and a single damage.
But it's big. And it goes rocka, rocka, rocka.
Ogryn's a fairly powerful unit with a strength of 5, a toughness of 5, and 3 wounds. However, the 5 plus save is a really big drawback for them, as with most of the Astra Militarum not being able to keep up with the survivability of your Marines, of course.
You should just start calling it like Warhammer Marine Edition. Because every time someone gets something cool, the Marines get something that's either equivalent or better.
Well, you know, the boys in blue just have to have all the best stuff.
You know, I just watched a thing about the Boys in Blue and how they came to be like the #1 boys for uh, Games Workshop. I guess whoever was in charge of the marketing department or something like that, or writing books, something along those lines, some type of media, uh, basically wrote the I can't think of Ultramarines as like the #1 Space Marines and loved by the Emperor and everyone else in the universe. You like to play those Smurfs?
Well, technically they're my wife's, but yes, I do like to play them because they will smash your face in.
Oh yeah, I mean they have the best rules in the world. You right over there?
Nope. I am muted though. Oh, you've got mute just under your microphone that toggles if you do want mute.
Copy.
FYI.
You can't stifle me.
Back.
All right,
Nobody can hold you back.
right? So, well, hold on. Gotta get his little armpit in here. Yeah, make sure we got all the his army color wife beater done here. So
I
now
think
we
you have
got.
to say spouse beater
Yeah,
or
yeah. Sorry.
significant other beater, I believe
Yeah.
might be a more appropriate term.
Yeah, I forgot about
I
that.
don't think you should assume anything about the Ogryn and his preferences. I don't
I
believe that's
mean,
proper.
you know, he's probably mutant, and you know, he comes from contaminated gene seed, so he's probably, you know, no penis at all. He's just a big dumb fighting machine, smash faces.
Mm. No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Too angry to die. So let's get some Rhinox hide and go touch up the areas that kind of got spilt over on.
It's another standard paint.
Yeah, it's a base color.
We're keeping with the same brush.
Yes, sir. Size 4 always. I always use a size 4 mainly. Size 4 or size 2. Depends on what I'm doing, but I don't generally use smaller ones unless I got a really tiny area I can't get. Just because I have more confidence with a bigger brush than I do a small brush. So I'm going to paint the hilt on this Ripper gun. And also because when you put brown down, brown's actually a good color to put metallics on as well. And, well, the best color is black, of course, but if you're painting boots and stuff, you know, you got black or brown right next to each other. It doesn't really matter. I don't really follow the paint guides unless I'm getting paid a commission, and the commission says, "Hey, this is what I want. I want this chapter, and I want painted just this way." And at that point, obviously I'll listen to what he says because he's paying me. But uh, if it's for me or just for fun, I really don't care. As long as it looks good. That's why I like
So
teaching.
how would
Like,
this differentiate from the standard way of painting these Astra Militarum?
uh, generally, these guys have. Like, I'm thinking I want to put on his magazine here. I want to go the big rounds in there. I want to go brass on them, and then I want to do a gold or a warp lock bronze maybe, just to kind of throw different colors because silver.
You could use a 10-10 if you wanted to use an actual good paint.
Yeah, I was just trying to. This one I'm just trying to. I like that tinny tin though. That is some good stuff. I like that on your Tau. Yeah. See, that's like a coppery silver color. I really like that one. But Bulgrin are kind of and Ogryn are kind of like the punching bags of. They're just out there to take as many people as they can with them. I think they get the start in um, what's it called, Underhive or Necronomicon or Necromunda. That's what it was.
Necromunda?
Yeah, I think that's where they first came out.
I believe Necromonicon
Necromunda, yeah.
is a book from a movie or something.
No, Necronomicon is from Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
I actually just watched that recently. That's why I have. Somebody's in my root cellar.
Did they reboot that or?
I think they had a TV show,
Oh, okay.
which was actually halfway decent.
Huh.
I liked it. I mean, but I like a lot of stuff that people don't like. I mean, I thought Hansel and Gretel was a good movie. I know, yeah, I know. You think it's terrible. I get it. I get it.
I do have taste, so you know. But
Yeah, yeah. Hansel and Gretel is not for everyone. All right. I know. I'm trying to. I'm trying. I'm trying.
And this model comes out of what set?
It's called Ogryn or Bolgren set actually. So 3 models in the set.
Just Bolgrins. And this is older plastic, newer plastic.
I think these are newer, like 2016 at least. They're not
The
that.
sculpting on it looks very detailed.
Yeah, you should see the gas mask ones. Because one I'm gonna make a Bolgren, and the gas masks are amazing on them. He's got this big ass belt buckle. It's like he likes the rodeo.
Has it got a giant Lone Star on it?
Nah, it's got a giant skull though. Hey, it's Warhammer. You gotta have a skull at least somewhere. My wife's like asking that the other day. She's like, "Why is there so many skulls on them?" I go, "Because it's like Warhammer, it's,
40,000 years of murdering people across the galaxy.
right?" Yeah, if you honestly think about it, I mean, it's pretty much just like standard. That's what you put on your wedding cake in Warhammer 40,000. Oh, the skulls just aren't right. So my plan is to paint those 3 dioramas and then make the bases with the guys, right? And then after that's done, I want to take and auction these off. Everyone buys a ticket, $20 a ticket, and whoever wins, we send the 3 versions to them.
Can I buy a ticket?
Huh?
Can I buy a ticket?
You can buy a ticket if you want. It's I'm trying to get at least.
I don't know. That sounds incestuous.
I'm trying to get like I don't know, maybe I want to get a significant amount for the stream. All the money's gonna go back to the stream. So
You're gonna do them as individuals or in a unit?
oh, I'm selling the whole thing together. So it'll be all the Bulgarins. So it'll be the 4 heroes versus like 5 cultists and a space marine, and they'll be like on a battle, kind of like this. It'll look like this, yeah. And then you'll have heroes over here and the bad guys over here, and they have like some rocks and broken machinery and stuff, and they'll just be fighting back and forth. So that's that so far. Now we're gonna take let's go with Lead Belcher. I'm gonna start doing the cuffs on his
That's
arm.
a metallic.
Yeah, it's metallic. Brand new one too, never opened. Just a little bit of water on it to kind of thin it out.
Watering down the metallic as well.
Yeah, always. And then on the metallics, I'll add flow aid. Just a little drop.
And what is this flow aid?
Flow aid is like airbrush flow aid. It just helps it suspend from drying out so fast. Metallics seem to, for me, seems like they separate and they dry out faster on the wet palettes. Oh, anywhere, but wet palettes is what I use. Get some of these paints out of the way.
Question from the chat: do metallic paints last as long as solid colors, or do they go bad sooner? Or is there problems
I
with
don't
them long
know.
term?
I've never had one sitting around long enough. I've used most of my paints fairly quick. I like to paint a lot, so I pretty much go through paint pretty fast. I'm going to touch up the gun barrel. This dagger thing. So, you know, everyone's like, what's up?
Get back in the camera. Get back in the camera. There you go.
Oh, sorry. I move. Everyone...
Probably going to need some screen for you.
It's funny, too, because everyone... everyone's like, oh, you missed a mold line, or there's a sprue line, because like you can see this sprue mark right here still on him. I did a thing not too long ago, a class with some kids, and like, you know, 12 and 8 and 7, and it's easier to focus on the fundamentals of painting. You can have a little bit of sprue mark or mold lines, whatever, as long as your paint job looks good. I mean, these aren't going to be in a competition anywhere. I mean, they're things happen, or you know, sometimes you miss things. But the whole thing about painting is it doesn't have to be perfect all the time. I mean, I've tried to be perfect sometimes, but I'd rather relax and paint. Modeling is part of it, and it's fun too, but when you buy a big ass box of these things and you get kind of overwhelmed, like, oh, I just bought a bunch of Space Marines or Kill Team or whatever else it is. You have all those models to paint. I don't think you're really going to want to worry about your mold lines or areas you miss things on.
The details matter.
What's up?
The details matter.
Such as?
Getting all those lines and making sure you're prepping everything before you get to the stage.
Yeah.
You might want to start getting paint slapped on immediately.
Yeah,
you just want to make sure you approach carefully.
Yeah, there's you know, people have. I understand that, and like I respect that fact that, you know, there are models I've tried to get the most I can, but there's sometimes if you scratch those lines, you end up rubbing off half the stuff or the detail because they're either shallow or have you. You know what I mean? I mean, I've cut fingers off before because I thought they were part of mold lines.
Yes, I've made a considerable number of mistakes. A little bit of green stuff sometimes is necessary to fix the problem.
And that's why, you know, I try to tell like these kids that like they want to be perfect, like the box right off the bat. I mean, you're not gonna be perfect right off the bat.
Oh, we all have our first goop-faced models.
Oh yeah, I mean I keep mine in a locked closet somewhere in the basement just so I remember myself. So
that's why I prefer Death Guard. They come with goop faces.
Right, they're born that way. Maybe it's natural. Maybe it's goop face. Maybe it's Nurgle. So I'm going to, after I get done doing these little skulls on this guy's wristbands. And he's got a Imperial symbol right here. Emperor's Eagle. I just noticed this dude has a nipple sticking out of his shirt.
Pierced or unpierced?
Yeah, it's unpierced.
Oh, that's good.
But there are some arms that came in this set that have like piercings in the arm.
Mm-hmm.
Like this dude has like lugs or dermals, I guess if you considered,
Mm-hmm.
right here in his arm.
Is that a mutation, an implant, cosmetic?
Oh, it's probably. Oh, he's a mutant, so it's probably cosmetic. Gifts from his girlfriend.
Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, today's Valentine's Day, huh?
You pierce yourself with this to show your love for the Emperor.
Right? The Emperor is my only true love. The Emperor knows all, sees all. He's like Santa Claus that'll kill you.
And do we switch paints?
Oh no, this is still Lead Belcher.
Oh, okay.
I'm just slightly tapping these little implants on them.
Oh, okay.
And I got a little on the skin, but that's okay. It's a good thing with paint. Let it dry and then go back
Fix
to
it. Which is what I spend most of my time doing.
fix.
Fixing.
Yeah, oh yeah. You can't be such a perfectionist all the time, Nick.
What else would I do?
I mean, solve world hunger.
I can only make so much chili.
Which is very good, by the way.
Thank you.
I very, very much enjoy that stuff. Did you see that Duncan Rhodes had COVID like a couple months ago?
Oh, is he recovered?
Yeah, he recovered. He
Did
went.
he get the big O or the regular one?
I have no idea. He didn't. I didn't see what he had. I just know he made an announcement he won't be doing it because I think he has paint school or something.
He's over on the island, right?
Huh?
He's over on the island, right? He's not here.
No, he's over across the pond. Yeah. Yeah, he's over there. He's a national treasure over there.
Should knight him.
Right. That's one thing I have a problem with too. Sometimes my hand falls asleep because I still don't feel all of my hand yet.
Oh. Well, it doesn't seem to have affected your painting ability because this Ogryn is turning out fantastic.
Oh, I appreciate it. Alright. Now I'm going to go over to my paint booth over here. Or I have my paints. I'm going to get Warplock Bronze and be right back. Right.
Hey now. Remember that you're on camera.
I'm letting all the ladies know where it's at. Where you can come get. What the heck is that? My first on.
One of the fun jobs of being an artist is searching through hundreds of bottles of paint.
Oh god, I know, right?
Especially if you're not organized.
I had so much paint.
Of course, I just thought throw them into a shelf over there.
But don't tell my wife that. I don't have enough paint. Do I have it over there? I probably have it over there.
It's of course in front of you.
It probably is. Let me see. So I don't feel like a complete idiot. No, I guess it's not over here.
What are we looking for?
Warp block bronze. I know. I brought it.
You want the real thing?
No, it is the real thing. Son.
I know where my tinny tin is.
I don't use knockoff paint. GW or nothing.
Well, then I guess I'll just have primered models.
Right? How dare you put that on GW models? I'm telling. I'm gonna send the wardens over here.
I don't think there's a drop of GW paint on neither my town nor my Tyranids.
That's okay. Wow, Tau don't count. That's a fevered dream from some dude that watched too much anime.
I got a new codex waiting for you to get you the Smackdown. So
I know.
we got a nice juicy Railgunner 3 for you.
I know. You guys are ridiculous that railgun shit. I don't know how they allow that to happen. That's honestly my truth.
Every new codex has to be the top codex.
That railgun stuff.
I'm sure the Marines will be getting an update pretty soon.
Yeah, they'll probably have railguns on there.
Everyone.
They'll have railguns inside.
27 new models, 4 vehicles, 18 named captains.
They'll have walking suits too. Better than the dreadnoughts. Well, screw it. We're gonna go gold.
You could come to the dark side.
For the greater good, right?
Join the Tau.
No, they're like propaganda people. they're like the space Mormons, or Jehovah's Witnesses.
You wish you were a fish person?
They're like Jehovah's Witnesses in space.
We could upgrade you with gills.
Yeah, no, man, their women are ugly.
You won't think so after an ethereal changes your mind.
Yeah, I don't think I want the ethereal. That's the other thing. Everything like is a giant mind screw with them. And you have to comply or die. I mean, they had one outcast or one rebel, and he got kicked to the curb real quick.
The Farsight Enclaves are pretty powerful. Again in the new codex, and bump on the Crute abilities.
Are those the psychic dudes?
The Crute are the like.
The Crute are the.
They're like the slaves they took over at some point that served the Empire there.
Yeah, the Crute actually, I like them. They're cool.
Yeah, they need an update though.
I have that sniper one from.
He's the best.
Darkstone.
Yeah, I use him. He's the only Crute I have. Otherwise, it's robots on robots on robots.
Sounds like a hentai.
And a couple of, little guys, since you have to have
Dude,
them.
I don't like your little shield guys. I think those things are ridiculous.
Oh, now they're forcing us to take those guys in bricks of 10, but that's okay.
Did they reduce it and now they back up?
They've changed the mobility. Not quite the original Fade and Fire type, but they've allowed I believe the battle suits to be able to fade out and redeploy, and some more and stratagems ability to have more maneuverability and close-in shooting as well.
What does fade out?
You can remove yourself from the board and re-deep strike, basically.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
The way it works.
Yeah, that's something sneaky little bastards need anyways. And you say the Grey Knights are overpowered.
I've never said that.
Yeah, it's no longer viable to have 4 Grandmasters and Walkers anymore.
I haven't actually seen what the new Grey Knights lists are looking like now.
You will, guarantee. After that game comes out.
What are some of the other colors that we've previously applied here?
Well,
Pants, flesh.
the pants I went with sorry. See this. The pants are Xandri dust with cracked stone over it.
And a dry brush on the crackstone?
No, just super watered down.
Okay.
I just watered it down. In fact, I gotta use it right now because I got gold on the pants right here.
I think an Ogryn can have dirty pants.
What's up?
I think an Ogryn can have dirty pants.
Yeah, I mean, I try to keep him a little dirty because I figure out he's gonna be in combat. He's not gonna look super clean. This is the one thing I get. So this is actually not a mole line; it's a scar right here in his lip.
Get a little close up on that.
I don't know if you see it right there.
Get him close up.
There's a scar there. I gotta get that thing. But let's see. So I like to take. They say Fire Dragon Bright for when you're highlighting your colors, your reds. I don't like the way it looks. I always do Troll Slayer Orange.
That seems pretty orange for a red.
Yeah, but it actually, you'll see. Fire Dragon Bright's like a pastel orange. I don't like that one. So I just use this to highlight the reds. This one I don't put everywhere. Just occasionally.
So how are we choosing what we're highlighting here?
Well, it's just random for me.
Just kind of.
It's just random. Like where light would be hitting it. Things like that. Just try not to cover up all the red highlighting did earlier. And because it's really, really thin on this color. It's very transparent is the word I'm looking for. Plus, it kind of makes the gun like it's been fired a lot, long circulation on it. It's not.
You don't want to think he's a French Ogryn.
Yeah, fresh meat. I'm just using the side of my brush too. Just load up my brush and just gently tapping it.
Help control the flow off of the bristles a lot more. Just to apply the minimalist amount of a very thin.
You know what? Everyone's gonna hate this, but I don't do my pupils on my guys. I think that's just ridiculous. I just can't do it.
No?
Is that because I can't actually do it? I find it tedious for no point. I guess maybe
it looks scarier that way.
Huh?
He looks scarier that way.
Yeah. And plus the orange, Trail Slayer orange, I really think it makes it kind of rusty looking. Which I particularly like, you know, a bunch of Years of War, things that could be perfect. But there's nothing wrong with people that do perfect weapons. I mean, that's what it looks like when it's done.
And so that's our last step there.
Yeah, I'm gonna paint the drum silver, the same lead bilcher.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna wash it with a dark wash I made, because I feel personally that it does a better job than Nolan Oil or the other shades.
And what's the procedure for creating this?
So it's 25% water, black ink. It's probably like 25% black ink. It has
What kind of ink?
Huh?
What kind of ink?
I use acrylic ink from Liquitex. It's probably the best one I like. That one.
Liquitex acrylic black ink.
Yeah, acrylic ink. It's really thick.
25% water on that.
Yeah, they do 25% water, and then I'll take the flow aid, put some flow aid in there, and then I take. Well, I'll water it down if it's too thick, and then if it's too thin, I'll throw a little more ink in there. The consistency you want is like kind of like a thick water, I guess it'd be like a thicker than water consistency. But then I'll throw a little dish soap in the end.
Dish soap?
Yeah.
The standard dish
so
soap.
It keeps the molecules like a nice tension on the surface. So it doesn't break apart. Your guy smells like Don, but he looks good. So just, again, a little water, a little flow aid on this. Keep a napkin. I always use shop towels, the blue ones, because I think they're better for absorbing over napkins. And I use a microfiber cloth after I'm done washing my brush off. I'll put a microfiber on it because it actually helps pull extra stuff off that might not have been washed off or whatever.
To actually have the fibers clean the bristles.
Yeah. And I do every once in a while, I take all my brushes that I have and I put them in simple green undiluted. You can get the cheap one, works too. That's one I have been using, and I'll leave them sitting in there for, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes, and I'll agitate it, swirl the brushes around, and then pull it out, and then each one I'll run it through some of the brush soap. And after I run it through the brush soap, I'll take it over to, I have what's called, it's this stuff from Germany, I forgot what it's called. It's like a blue gel, but it repoints your brushes. So it creates a better point, or you can store your brushes, and it has a blue, it's blue, I know that, and it smells really good actually, and keeps your points on your brushes.
And what detergent are you using?
I just use
For
Dawn.
the brush cleaner.
Oh, I use the classic one, the one that comes in the khaki box or bottle, whatever it is. Right now I'm using what's this one? Unicorn poop from Monument Hobbies. It actually works good too. I like this one.
Yeah, I find it much better for even the cheaper brushes.
I actually like the Citadel, or not Citadel, sorry, Vallejo, the
Of
Vallejo
course.
one. It's like a little bottle, and it's like a two-stage system, and it's for like restoring brushes. And you have to leave it sitting in the stripper. Basically, it pulls anything off the bristles, and then you have to leave it in there for, it says, for a couple minutes. And you pull it out, and you wipe your brushes off, and then you take that, and then you what else do you do? Oh yeah, then there's a blue solution, that's the second part, and you stick your brush in there, and like puts a oil or some kind of protectant on it,
Mm-hmm.
and then that will keep it, when you're not using it, from the tip being smashed. I also keep most of my brush caps. People like to throw them away on cheap brushes.
Mm-hmm.
I
The
just,
little plastic tip
yeah,
burrs.
I just put the end. I mean, I don't have all the money in the world. I do have like nice brushes that come from Spain and stuff, but like I have a couple of Raphael 8404s. I have uh, I have a really nice set from Da Vinci. Those are all Klinsky first, but
You can still achieve really good results uh,
oh yeah,
with most, at least decent quality
oh
brushes, as
yeah.
long as you're
I mean,
keeping them well and making sure you're treating your paints properly.
I mean, think about it. Thinning is actually the number one thing that people, I still get wrong sometimes. I mean, there's times where I think I thinned it properly, and I look down and my stuff's all separated or uh, too watery. I mean, that happens to me too. Make it too watery, and then next thing you know, I got stuff running everywhere.
Is there a way to re-thicken it, or you just kind of try again?
Yeah, I just throw a little bit of extra paint on it
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of mix it together. It depends if I'm trying like a mother color theory, and I'll have a bunch of paint already ready to go. And if I have a mother color going, then I'll just kind of drag some over to see if that helps it. I mean, doesn't matter if it's brand new or synthetic or not, but every brush has a problem. Every brush company has a problem. I mean, look, this is brand new out of the package, and this hair right here is crazy. It keeps
Trim it.
going all places, and so I actually keep a pair of cuticle scissors.
There we go.
And I cut.
Little surgery on the brush, and
Yeah,
we're back to
and I know you're
nice.
not supposed to do it because it's gross, but whatever, or, it's bad for your health. But
Does it
I've
taste
done
good?
it. Yeah, yeah, I eat my brush. Now I suck on the brush to make the point. So once I get the point back on the brush, so now all I have to do is wash the gun, and then we're done with this guy. Oh, you know what? No, we're not, because I have his shin guards. Which, right here. So a little more lead belcher.
We are approaching the top of the hour and near the end of our stream. If any of our viewers have any more questions or comments they'd like for our artist here, please get them in now.
It's kind of a big boy model. Everyone's like, "Oh, bigger
It's
model."
a 40 millimeter base there.
Yeah. It's a big boy.
You'd expect for a 3-wounder, 5 toughness. Take up some space on the battlefield, be able to.
Yeah, but from what every time I watch a battle report, these guys they get snapped out real quick.
The lack of an invulnerable save, for the most part, I don't know if there's any easy way for them to really get anything bumped beyond just their innate toughness and wounds. But yes, most of the extra damage coming from everything that's been updated, yeah, can really chew through guys that don't have any additional survivability.
Yeah, I actually think the models are damn cool looking.
It's an excellent sculpt, and it's coming out great.
All right, so that's the Ogryn. Now I'm gonna wash the gun with that black wash I talked about.
Give it a little 360 spin so we can really see what
Da,
we've
da,
accomplished
da,
here.
da,
A little lower.
da, 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 da,
Right
da.
there, and now spin. Yep, give it a full spin right there. Rah. Like his yellowed teeth. How did you accomplish that?
Put white on his teeth,
Mm-hmm.
and then I ran contrast, watered down, heavily watered down. Egadin yellow.
Let's see that. Show the label. Okay. Great. And that is our Ogryn model. Thank you for everyone for joining us tonight at Paint, Play, and Parlay, Triple P. We will update you on all of our social medias for our next stream coming up soon.
Next stream will be this sister. She's COVID prepared. As you can tell, she has a gas mask on.
Excellent. Is it a Emperor 95?
Yeah, it's Emperor 95. It's nothing but pure faith in there.
Blessed.
Yeah, it's nothing but pure faith.
Excellent. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.